Slicing Maelstrom and, Rocket Jump into Buster Shot. All of it is instantaneous. There's a lot of hard crowd control here. So I see it being very difficult to actually keep this Zeri alive. This complete composition is just built to shut down, giving over that Zeri first pick.
Well, will we see another Zeri lose here in the PCS? It's already happened once before, I believe, in the hands of Impunity. But Hurricane have to hope that they can ride this one to victory, as they need every game to be a win if they want to try and make it into the playoffs. It's a long ride, but it's still possible.
Yep, currently they're still sitting at 3 games behind Impunity, so they need to win all 3, and Impunity need to lose all 3. That's kind of the scenario that they're going for.
And they have a tiebreaker then.
True. Very slim chances, so that's certainly true, but if they go into tiebreaker, as long as you have the same number of wins, you can get a tiebreaker. It doesn't matter about the head-to-head whatsoever, so we're not saying it's going to happen, but there is a chance. Now, the good thing about this game for me is that Hurricane Gaming at least are not going for any crazy level 1s. That has kind of been their go-to and honestly their biggest downfall. So it's always kind of heartening to see that they're not trying to rush for this straight off the bat. In the meantime, taking a look at their lane allocations, Akali will be going into the top lane, Sylas into the mid lane. I do expect this to be a rather slow early game coming in for Hurricane Gaming. They're really looking for that first team fight where you could see the Slicing Maelstrom be the main one stolen away, or the Unbreakable from Alistar, which has always been a Sylas favorite, and then they try to go into team fights that way. J-Team, this composition is actually fairly brittle, so it's possible for Hurricane Gaming to just pick people off in these team fights if they get any vision advantages.
Yeah, Kongye has been kind of a main tank for a little while now. Starting to see as his role has shifted quite a lot from the Hong Kong Attitude days. Although we're going to get a level 1 here. Bang 2 immediately gets turned back off from the explosive shot, and Lilvi and Enzo win the trade.
That's just unfortunate for Enhao. His Zenith Blade was a little bit too short. You can attach the Zenith Blade across the enemy support. It does land onto the last target, but Little V was able to walk out, and Bang 2 still walked up to the trade, so unfortunately they do lose out quite heavily right there. That's 2 potions used by Bang 2, just 100 gold down the drain for that trade.
He's trying to make up for it with the minion farm, but unfortunately Wave's going to crash. Little V shouldn't have too much trouble picking that up. Another thing about Tristana is, well, she has a hard time freezing waves, but it also means she has a hard time missing CS. And wow, they're going in for round 2 immediately. Bang 2 gets ignited. He's going to stay alive with half his health, but you can already see the superior 2v2 really getting the bully on.
Yeah, the amount of pressure here is quite amazing. So they get the heal out of him. And something to note is Lil V is running Hail of Blades, so he can stack up those explosive charges extremely quickly, get the reset for a second jump, and Zeri, with all her mobility, likely isn't going to escape from that one. So we have to pay very close attention to whenever that Hail Blades is up, and whenever the cooldowns are there for the Alistar. There's a very strong possibility for a kill here, especially with all of the pots burned now from Bang 2. Looking at the other lanes, this is kind of expected. You do have both matchups being range versus melee for Hurricane Gaming, so things are progressing rather slowly. I do think J-Team can just actually vie for a double scuttle or try to put a little bit more pressure on ICU early game with these lanes, and it does look like Hurricane Gaming have this sort of a game plan where they're running a lot of assassins in both the Sylas and the Akali, and it's kind of a, well, laning phase is kind of going to suck for you, but we'll look and find opportunities in the first Herald.
Yeah, if they can stay safe enough to where they can actually group up, that's an advantage for them. At the same time, Kongye doesn't find an opening to try and get the gank, and a little difficult to do on Hecarim early anyways, but ICU is falling a bit behind in the farm game up against the likes of Driver. It's a ninja matchup up top there.
So I do want to talk about one of the big timings that we've seen, Sylas versus Alistar, that we saw at Worlds with Damwon Gaming, is that they would actually try to, initiate when the Alistar was level 5 on the first Herald fight. That really made a massive difference right there, and it allows Sylas to come in and just smash the first team fight, because essentially you have a front line while the enemy doesn't. So that's a potential timing window we could see if the enemy tries to do it. And the way that we have seen Damwon can avoid that pitfall is they actually roam their support level 5 very early, leech off the mid wave, and just prevent that timing from going over. Now we have a go-in, but it's a 3v3.
3v3, yeah, Bang 2 flashes, so does Luffy as well as Olio comes through, and Kongye answers on this one. Only a little bit low, but first blood secured by Enhao. I don't think they were prepared for the level 4 Volibear.
Yeah, that was a kind of a weird one because it was pretty telegraphed. Both sides had their junglers waiting in this location, and J-Team were running into the minion wave. They were also diving in headfirst with the exhaust. Very well done by Enhao, but Alio might be pushing his luck a little bit too much. He might
just a little bit. Oh no, he feeds the kill right back after the jump from Lil V. Keeps him alive. That was a bit of a misfire. It turns 1 for 1 with the AD carry kill on J-Team.
Yeah, and the laser doesn't find the kill and the back end either, so J-Team ends up, I would say, in the lead here. They do have the 3v3 here, so they can control the wave. They can get a better back after this wave and continue to pressure. So, you know, the leads that Hurricane Gaming gained right before that are now, they've just completely given their lead back. So, rather unfortunate mistake right here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we do have the first TP coming back from Driver. Again, what we're seeing is a J-Team should have full control of this next reset, and that really determines when they can walk towards Herald.
Okay, here's Enzo actually roaming up for just a brief second, but Wave's already pushed, not going to be able to get much done there. One thing I did want to point out, too, you talked about teleports. There is going to be a general teleport advantage on the Hurricane side because Cha-Cha does have that compared to Uniboy's full combat summoners. But Uniboy's job, of course, is to just go into the backline and delete after he gets the stacks up there. Although we'll have to see how it shakes out. I mean, I suppose it's always possible he shifts his build-up, but the AP would make a lot of sense there.
Yeah, definitely would be. So we are seeing Driver just go for more, I think, the more traditional build in this sense, the AP, like you mentioned. And we do have Uniboy going for the Mura mana, which still gives a lot of burst potential. You know, we have seen players just go for this first and kind of flex based on the situation. Like, the runes right now are all adaptive runes, so you still get full value whichever way you go with this composition. And I think for J-Team, their idea of playing this sort of team fight, they don't have a lot of sustain. I feel like they might just be going for full burst combos anyway.
I think so.
Now Kongya level 6 into the bot lane, as we said, wave control, no flash bot.
And they get the jump in. That's a teleport a little bit early, and Bang2 gets blown to pieces, but Enzo falls as well. They couldn't quite juggle the aggro and flash and stun. Lil V could be in trouble as he's cut off at the pass, and ICU picks up a kill here as they manage to turn a dive into a 2 for 1.
Yeah, it was actually beautiful timing coming in from ICU. He does get a short window where he cannot, he does have the teleport advantage, and Olio.
Driver didn't expect that engage, and even through the slicing maelstrom, Olio's just walking up and tanking it. Does he have anything left, though, to try and grab it? The flash out of the Sky Splitter. Where has this man been?
That was such a good combo coming in from Olio. We should watch that once again. But first, taking a look at the bottom side. As we said, this was likely going to happen, the dive coming in from the first instant. But they don't actually kill Bang2 on the first go, which prompts Lil V to actually walk back into tower range to finish off the kill. And his support is tanking tower in the meantime. So unfortunately, they actually end up losing 2 for 1. Meanwhile, in the top lane, because Alio was able to force out Driver with no TP, they also get a free Herald in the top side. Really well done by Alio there. I wanted to comment that he did the combo absolutely correctly. When you use your ultimate, you are unstoppable. So he actually put down his Sky Splitter and then jumped in with the Stormbringer. So really nicely getting all the burst damage in. He's also running with the press the attack, so just completely caught Driver off guard with the amount of burst damage he was able to do, and that combo can't be stopped by any stun. So just well done on his part to get that Herald.
Hey man, if Pokemon taught me anything, it's that if you are a electric type, you are not going to be affected by electric damage very much. And Volibear, definitely a bit of a Thunder Bear.
Doesn't it work both ways, though?
I mean, it does, but, like, you can't really... If he's just going to come in and Goomba Stomp you, that's a whole other story, right? Now, let's talk about Kongya, because he's coming in on the onslaught. Does have a 2-man. Uniboy dashes in to get the completion, even though Kongya picks up the kill at the end. A nice 1-2 punch.
That was a little bit too obvious from the side of Hurricane Gaming. Cha-Cha also had no mana in that play, so I felt like that was actually Hurricane Gaming more trying to reset the wave than anything, and it just felt very opportunistic to see if they, if nobody showed up, maybe they could drop the Herald, but J-Team just respond very easily. They have the bot wave control, support roams up to back it up as well, so even if there was any fight back, they weren't going to be able to take any kills back, and that's just J-Team just with knowing their damage limits quite well, and what I really expect out of Hecarim plays, excuse me, as we do see Cha-Cha get a flash too.
He got his own Hecarim play off for sure, and ICU out and in, gets stunned up, doesn't quite have, there he goes, a few extra shurikens is all he needed it, and ICU starting to come back into this one. That one kill down bot got him a golden fusion he needed. And this is a potential win condition if Hurricane can get their assassin fed.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive kill. This is a Kali with no boots going up against Boots 2, Kennen, and he landed every single skill shot to make that happen. We'll watch this again. Remember, Driver did burn his flash earlier on in the play, and also look at the stacks right here. ICU just is able to get so much damage off. He dodges out on the additional Q, just using the Twilight Shroud as well, so just all around super well played, and being able to get damage down before the stun really comes in was massive against Driver.
And this is a big tempo swing, using that Herald they picked up earlier to try and get more here, but Cha-Cha doesn't really find an in for the dive, as Konge was there, so they won't be able to get much more than a couple of plates. All the same, it's Hurricane Gaming that are instigating the plays right here. They may get collapsed on a little bit, and they may be behind in the gold game, but they're keeping pace with a team that honestly should be trying to snowball them. And now let's see if they can get the fight back. Enhao a little bit low. In goes Lil-V into the stasis. Konge maybe pushes his luck, and here comes the Volibear onto Enso. Fang 2's on the board, and now J-Team are running for the hills.
Yeah, that was a very questionable play coming from J-Team. They actually hard committed right after the jungle walked away from their lane. So they saw Alio, and they were like, you know what, maybe he's not there anymore, and they full commit onto the support. So I just feel like J-Team are playing rather loosely with this one.
I am inclined to agree, Clement. I think this team is in a very, very good position in the standings, but they are playing quite cavalier today.
That's definitely true, and to be frank, they do have a cavalier in the Hecarim, but yeah, that was just very.
Frank's my other co-caster.
I'm sorry. Too many puns in one sentence. That's just what we do sometimes in PCS. It was kind of a head scratcher. They knew that Alio was right around the corner. They just expected themselves to have a very fast kill and be able to retreat with the rocket jump, but very well done by Enhao. He actually denies the reset there by keeping himself alive. Alio flies in, very simple kill, and there's also Cha-Cha behind that play. So they actually put themselves in a position now that the bot lane is very exposed. There was no heal to begin with, and now there's no summoners on Little V. They also can't control the wave. So that's pretty much an open invitation for Alio to just repeat gank this. And there is a chance for Hurricane Gaming to actually flip the bot lane matchup and become the first ones to take down first brick.
Which is massive right now.
Yeah.
It's all at the back of just a couple of swings they've taken advantage of. And critically, this is a team that, they've not, even going back to the alpha days when they had very similar problems with players in different locations, they didn't really have a penchant for effective communication. As Olio does get caught here, he could be in trouble. I don't think he's getting out of this one as he tries to walk it out. Well, maybe a bit of a caster curse there, as clearly he was not on the same page as the rest of his squad. But overall, Hurricane have showcased a lot better team decision-making in the first 14 minutes of this game that I think we've seen of them most split.
Yeah, I would agree right here, but they still have to survive this mid lane gank.
Oh boy!
This is why. This is why the Kaisa mid is so damn scary. We are seeing the Mirror Mana build come out first, and when you are single target against a Cathian Rain, that ability just does crazy amounts of damage. There's no support to actually soak it up. And this is why, Kaisa mid lane was kind of a thing for a while earlier on, and now that Faker's brought it back, I do expect to see a little bit more of it.
Yeah, Faker, trend maker for sure. Uniboy definitely looking pretty good on it. Obviously, the plan has been to try and snowball Honge has visited that lane multiple times, and he can get there quite quickly on the pony. I do like how this combo's worked out well. I think he's been less effective in some of the other lanes, but for the most part, if they can get the mid Kaisa ahead, I mean, Uniboy definitely their big carry. They don't necessarily have to have anybody else coming out of this super far ahead of the curve. Although, Driver falling behind is not something I expected to see today. He's definitely been having quite the split, but ICU is giving him hell.
Yeah, definitely, down 2-0, and his wave is constantly getting pushed in. He is in threat of just getting ganked again, and this is a very strong CC combo. If Driver face checks, he could just be dead. Oh, he actually baits it out.
Wow.
Spider senses.
There we go. But it does mean, with this presence here, a fair bit of control for the Herald. It's going to be flipped for the Dragon down bottom. That will be J-Team second. We hadn't even talked about how Cloud came up first. And with the Ocean starting to build a Drake stack here. And also, first brick secured by J-Team in one fell swoop. And we have got a Hex Tech Rift today. It's going to be Portal City.
Yeah, this is definitely a fun one here, especially when you have a Kennen that can kind of flank. I definitely feels like it could be beneficial. Ooh.
Okay. Let's see if ICU. He actually dashes right back to the tower, but 3-on-1 just ain't fair. And he's trying to buy time and maybe delete Lil V, but nothing doing. It's going to be a push down mid with the Herald, but in exchange for an inner, or at least a lot of damage on it. It can't quite finish it, though, because Driver's here to defend.
Yeah, and he does have Slicing Maelstrom, so worst comes to worst, he can't clear the
way. There he
goes!
Oh, 1, 2, 3! They've managed to grab. Not 2 kills just yet, but you have to think only a matter of time before NHOW drops. Bang 2 can't do much, and holy moly, what a turn from J-Team.
That's the combo that I wanted to see. An old school Geisa combo. Bang 2 getting jumped on.
Oh, Lil V on the step forces the flash out from Bang 2. Heal already down, and J-Team just 1, 2, 3 all across the map. They're just so much faster right now.
Yeah, and this combo is just so hard to actually dodge out. I think this is exactly why they gave the Zeri blue side first pick over Hurricane Gaming. They had a plan to go into it. If you charge at someone with Onslaught of Shadows and you terrify them, that actually counts as an immobilization, and Uniboy can fly in with the Killer Instincts. It works the same way for the Kennen as well, as he can just put Slicing Maelstrom. It only takes 1.5 seconds for the stun to come down, guaranteed. So this is a very strong side lane combo, a very strong catch combo that you can pull out in the mid lane if you ever have these sort of overloaded side trades. And it also really works in a semi-global fashion. You have to remember the Killer Instincts range is about 3,000, which is almost as long as early level Twisted Fate Destiny Gate. So we'll watch this one again as Kennen goes in, flashes for the 3-man. You have the smash come in on the other side, and just watch where Kaisa was flying in from. At that point, Uniboy was still around Raptors, and it's very hard to predict when that rotation is going to come in.
Yeah. At this point, you're starting to see Uniboy run away with it. At the moment, he does have the Medjai's already on. Why not? And there's a dive down bottom. Driver going to get hopped on by the Volley Bear, and ICU coming in for a 1-2 combo, even through the Maelstrom. They're going to be able to take it and secure that outer tower. So a good swing there for Hurricane, but what can J-Team get done in the mid? Not a whole lot, as the rest of the squad's here.
It's just a 3-man stack here, making sure that J-Team can't push any further. In the meantime, Uniboy will get a couple more stacks. We did see him sort of think about going for the Crown of the Shadow Queen before, but he's like, nah, I got this. Again, I really like Alial's engages so far. He uses his ultimate again to close the gap. When you are in the ultimate, you cannot be stunned. And that's why he's running that. It means even if Driver does use a Slicing Maelstrom, he's not going to be able to get away. And then when you combo it into the Q auto attack is also unstoppable. So it's a guaranteed chain right there. And then Hurricane Gaming comes in with the rest of the members to follow it up. To be honest, I feel like Alial on Volley Bears definitely feels like a champion that he's a lot more familiar with than some of the other picks we've seen.
And this is from a jungler from who started last season as a mid laner. We have been waiting for him to showcase a champion that he seems particularly comfortable on. This Volley Bear definitely has looked a lot better. J-Team obviously still in the lead with this game. Let's not get away from ourselves too much, but we are seeing some glimmers of the of a chance of this Hurricane Gaming team. If they can pull off an epic upset here, they stay alive for the playoffs. It is all on the line. I mean, they need a lot of help to do it, but it is literally win or go home.
For sure, and I think this team fight is where Hurricane Gaming could definitely turn the tables around. If you look at their items, this is when they have all of their stopwatches. Zanya's is done on the top lane coming in from ICU, so that burst potential from J-Team is actually greatly reduced. Sure, they might be up 5,000 gold right now, but it's definitely possible for J-Team to combo in, but then blow all of their ultimates on just stasises, and then for Hurricane Gaming to mop up the field. So if they stay together here, I feel like Hurricane Gaming should not let this Drake go. This is definitely their best chance to get back into the game, though they are giving up a lot of free damage.
Yeah, they are. This is a little rough right now. Olio, if he's taken out of this dragon fight, it is absolutely over. He goes into stasis for this one, and now intercepts Uniboy's W, and Shacha's trying to lead them on here, but Konge's around. This could be danger. This is a 4v5. Well, no, 4v4 rather, because ICU is off down bottom trying to push Driver away. They just get zoned out. Shacha runs straight into an entire death brush there as he's forced to ult away with a stolen onslaught, flashing back to the safety of the turret. J-Team just muscle Hurricane out of this mid lane, and here comes Konge, isolating Olio and Bang 2 into the lead for Lil V, and that's going to be Reset City. A double kill quickly picked up, and they can hit and run.
Yeah, very surprising result of that fight. Little V basically just walked at Hurricane Gaming and just one-shot Olio, forced him to run away. Hurricane Gaming weren't in position to try and engage that one, and I just felt like they hesitated on what the call actually was and gave J-Team way too much ground. You know, Lil V with his cleanse up and with his flash up, he was willing to just stand right there and take damage, and I feel like Hurricane Gaming were kind of debating whether they wanted to go in there or not, and in the meantime, J-Team kind of just walked them down. So a golden opportunity for Hurricane Gaming just completely lost in rather weird fashion here, as Olio with less than 200 HP walks up. I feel like that tower was just better left for dead.
I mean, if nothing else, just look at the AD diff right now. You're talking Kraken Slayer, Malamel Mortius, and a Phantom Dancer against Triforce TMI. I'm sorry, Bing 2, you're not winning that.
Yeah, it definitely isn't, and this is getting a lot more dire for Hurricane Gaming as the gold lead moves past the 5,000 gold post. I feel like whenever it goes over 5k, your only real win condition left is going to be more focused on towards just catches, which is what Hurricane Gaming is doing.
Okay, Enzo's going to be the one face checking, although a little bit of split focus here from Cha-Cha. Let's see if they can actually get out of this one alive, and in goes the Volibear looking for Lil V. He leaps to safety, teleport completes, Driver immediately bails out. Cha-Cha is not done with them just yet, and they turn their attention for Driver now, but Konge and Uniboy combo up to get one more. Enzo leaps up, dies. Here goes the second hop from Lil V. Knockback on the ultimate, ICU staying alive. Taking down Enzo is pretty big, though, and now that's a triple kill, though, on the other side. Bang 2 staying alive in this one, but Lil V polishes him off. The quadra kill from Uniboy, and the Penta stolen away by scumbag Lil V.
Oh, Lil V, he always does this on J-Team. He even emotes to show that he knows what he's doing. Oh, I have to say, Lil V has got to be one of the worst teammates in PCS. He is such a morale killer with that. He's just known for stealing pentaQs, and you know he's said in previous interviews that he does it on purpose just so like his teammates don't get too inflated with their egos. Now,
wow, actually toxic.
Yeah, I mean he does have a point, but just give over the pentakills to your teammates. We're gonna watch this again. Hurricane Gaming, they do have to make a pick. I commend them for their effort, but unfortunately, they do start out on the Alistar. So the first kill does come in rather late, and let's just watch Uniboy here as he gets these disgusting Muramana picks again and again. You do get the full Muramana on single target abilities, which is what her W is with the Kaisa, and that's 2 kills with just the W alone doing over 500 damage to these champions.
Lil V, why you gotta do him like that, man? That was unfortunate. But speaking of unfortunate, Hurricane, they're seeing their playoff chances here go up in smoke. Driver may go down. Nope, not even quite. And Uniboy very determined to make up for losing out on that Penta by quickly picking up too. And at this point in the game, you kind of don't have to do anything but hit your W key if you're Kai'Sa. It stings. I mean, we're talking full stack Medjais and Ludens as well.
Yeah, I really want to see his damage numbers at this point. So he can pretty much... Oh my god.
It's disgusting.
That was likely the tankiest member on the team as well. And taking 400, half HP Bane 2 just with one shot. To be fair, he is 4 levels up on Bane 2. That's still disgusting.
I mean, yeah, Uniboy's having a blast this game. You can see why Zoe left open. That's fine. Doesn't work with what we want to do this time around. We'll take the AP mid Kai'Sa. And we are seeing J-Team. They may have had a few scuffed moments earlier in this game, but they turned on the heat. And unfortunately, Hurricane, they had to get the heck out of there. But maybe it's turnabout, the desperation fight here. No! Lilvy's unstoppable as he takes down Cha-Cha. The onslaught of shadows is the onslaught of Hurricane's doom. And J-Team gonna finish this one right here, right now. ICU walks back to Fountain, but not fast enough as Uniboy picks up another. Lilvy polishes off the last, and J-Team officially snuff out the Hurricane.
And it's kind of sad to see Hurricane